If you're interested in running and hosting a YEC competition using VentureDash, you'll first need to complete a competition application, otherwise known as a sanction form. There's two simple ways to do this. The first is the YEC series landing page, and the second is by receiving an email invite from someone on the YEC team. I'll show you the first way. You're going to want to go to goventuredash.com, where you can go to competitions at the top. From this page, you want to click Series, and then find the 2020-2021 Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge Series. This is the series landing page, and you'll simply click to apply to host a competition. The other way to get to this step is by receiving an email invite from the YEC team. If that's the route you go, you'll receive an email with a link that takes you here. The next step is to create a VentureDash account. After this, we'll submit our competition application. Next, you'll see the competition application form. This is all the details that YEC needs from you in order to allow you to host a competition. I'm going to go real quick through this whole form, and then we'll show you the next steps. Once you've submitted your competition application, you'll land on this page where you'll see the status of your competition application, when it was submitted, and instructions for the next steps. If you need to make changes to your competition application, you can come to this page, go to the bottom, and click Edit Application. Once approved, you'll know by an email that you get letting you know that your competition application has been accepted, and you'll be able to begin creating your competition. When your competition application has been approved by the YEC team, you'll receive an email with a link to begin creating your competition. That link will take you to this page. On this page, you'll want to change your competition name, enter the competition organizer, which is likely either you or an organization you're representing, the contact email, which sometimes might be something other than your email, and state the audience of your competition. In step 2, you'll enter the date, location, description, schedule and key dates, business application deadline, and judge sign-up deadline for your competition. It's okay if you don't know some of these details yet. You can always come back and edit them later. You'll notice in the description and schedule and key dates fields some handy formatting tools like bold, italic. You can create links, create headers, bullets, numbered lists, indents, and even attach files. I'm even going to drop in an image for my competition. This is how you enter a link. And here's an example of attaching a file. This is another place that you can drop in images of sponsors and any other information participants or those interested in your competition need to know. In the schedule and key dates field, you can put dates leading up to the competition that participants need to know about, a schedule for the day of the competition, and any other time-related elements about your competition. The business application deadline is the date that you would like all businesses to apply by. The judge sign-up deadline is when you would like to have all judges signed up by. The third and final step of creating a competition is one you can ignore because YEC does not permit its competitions to charge an entry fee. So, you can go ahead and click Save and Finish, and you'll arrive at your competition details page. Everything within your YEC competition can be found either on the Details, People, or Scoring pages on VentureDash. As you can see on the Details page, we have some basic details about our competition, the organizers of the competition, including yourself and any co-hosts you've added, and the components that make up the format of your competition. On the People page, you have members of your competition where you can invite and track entrepreneurs, judges, and mentors, as well as co-hosts. Businesses within your competition. So when an entrepreneur or a mentor creates a business, that business will show up here, and you can manage the businesses from this page. Forms, where you can determine the information to collect from different users in your competition. Announcements, where you can send messages to the users of your competition. Surveys, where you can collect feedback and important info from users in your competition. And check-in, where you can check participants in on the day of the competition. On the scoring page, you have judge assignments, where you'll assign judges to score businesses once your competition is up and running. Score approval, where you'll view and approve scores that judges have submitted for businesses. And the leaderboard, where you'll start to see scores tabulated automatically for the businesses based on judges' scores. One of the first things you'll see once inside your competition is the competition timeline. Default tasks of the competition timeline are your step-by-step guide on how to create, host, and run your competition. When you click a default task on the timeline, it should go to the place where you complete that task within VentureDash. At the top, you can cycle between different phases of the competition: setup, before, during, and after, each containing their own tasks. You can even add new tasks to your timeline. This is great for reminders or specific dates that you want to complete tasks not on this timeline. You can even view and modify the tasks of participants in your competition by clicking Participant Tasks. This shows you what businesses and judges see on their timelines. Just like your own, you can cycle through the different phases of a competition, add new tasks, and edit what they're able to see. The first step when setting up your competition is to select components to make up the format of your competition. Every YEC competition comes with an executive summary and a formal presentation component. If you look inside those components, you'll see that they come pre-populated with details. Since every executive summary component in YEC is the same, you can't edit the component name, description, or guidelines and information. Every executive summary component in YEC also requires a component attachment, meaning the entrepreneur or business must submit a file, URL, or text submission containing their executive summary. If you'd like, you can set an attachments deadline showing the entrepreneurs when you'd like them to submit that attachment by. You can also set a judging deadline, showing judges when they should judge this component by. Let's save and continue. And on the next page, you'll see the component's rubric. For executive summary, there are 4 criteria on the rubric. You have the option to add your own criteria if you'd like, and each criteria comes with its own 5 ratings, but you can change those as well if you'd like. We're just going to go with the defaults that come along with the executive summary rubric. Here at the bottom, you'll see, again, we have 4 criterias, each with a total possible score of 5, meaning the total possible score for the executive summary component is 20. The next step is to define judge instructions. YEC has judge instructions already populated for you, but you can edit these if you'd like. These will show on the rubrics for the judges when they're scoring. Lastly, you'll see a preview of the rubric judges see when scoring businesses. Just like executive summary, you can go inside the formal presentation component and change certain aspects of it if you'd like. YEC competitions also have the option to add components of their own. You can add components using one of the templates on VentureDash. We have templates for executive summary, elevator pitch, formal presentation, and trade show. Or you can use a custom component to create one from scratch yourself. Each custom component comes with the same details you saw in executive summary, just blank. You will have to fill out all of the custom component details yourself. For now, we'll delete this and move forward with the executive summary and formal presentation. If you'd like to, you can set custom weights for your components, meaning the total possible score in each component gets a heavier weight in the calculation of average scores at the end. To set custom weights, check the Allow Custom Weights box and click Customize. You'll see a field for each of your components, and as long as these fields total 100%, you can save. We'll move forward with a 50-50 weight. Let's complete the next two steps of competition setup. Create participant forms and create the business form. To navigate there, you can either click the task in the timeline or go to People and Forms. These forms are ways to collect information during the sign-up process for entrepreneurs, judges, mentors, and inside a business application. Let's go into the entrepreneur sign-up form. In each of these forms, there's some questions that are automatically required and can't be modified by you, the host. In this form, VentureDash collects the entrepreneur's first name, last name, email, and birthday. In YEC, you'll see that another question has been automatically added, asking which school the entrepreneur belongs to. You have the option to add questions of your own. When you add a question, you can add the text of your question and then select which type of answer you're looking for, whether it's a short answer, multiple choice, checkbox, paragraph, date, or URL answer. In multiple choice and checkbox answers, you can add as many options as you need and fill in the text for those options. We're going to go ahead and move forward with the default YEC question for school and the automatic questions created by VentureDash. The forms for judges and mentors are very similar. For judges in YEC, there's a question automatically added for the judge's organization that they represent. The same goes for mentors. Again, you can add questions to these if you'd like. Now, the business application is a place for capturing information from businesses that's important to you as the competition host. This may include preliminary information like how much money they made last year if they're a legitimate business, how many members there are in their business, or any other details you'd be interested in knowing. For now, I'll keep the business application form simple. The next two steps of setting up your competition in VentureDash are to set scoring preferences and set leaderboard preferences. We'll cover both of those now. To set scoring preferences, you'll either click this item in the timeline or go to Scoring, Score Approval, and then the Scoring Preferences button in the top right. Your preferences for score approval all relate to score visibility. The first option is to allow businesses to see their own detailed scores. This includes overall competition score, component scores, individual judge scores, and specific ratings for each rubric criteria. The next option is whether or not you'd like to show businesses comments from judges. Hosts and co-hosts always have the option to edit or review judge comments before approving scores if they like. Both of these options can be toggled on or off, but we're going to leave them on and update these preferences. The next step is to set leaderboard preferences. Again, either click this item in the timeline or simply go to Scoring, Leaderboard, and again to the Leaderboard Preferences button in the top right. Similar to score approval preferences, many of the leaderboard preferences relate to leaderboard visibility. The leaderboard are where all approved scores show up. If you'd like, you can make the leaderboard visible to businesses when logged in. And then we have the option to make the leaderboard visible on the public landing page for your competition. This means that anyone that comes to your landing page on VentureDash can see the leaderboard. This next one asks if you'd like to divide your competition's leaderboard into divisions. I'll show you how that works right now. If you toggle this to yes and click Update Preferences, at the bottom of the page, you'll see a section for leaderboard divisions. Many competitions have an audience of entrepreneurs in high school, middle school, and elementary, so we'll create that hypothetical situation right now. Now, when you create divisions, each business in the competition can be given a label of one of these divisions, which puts them in a class together with other high school, middle school, or elementary businesses in the competition. That way, these businesses are only scored against others in their specific division. For now, we're just going to delete these divisions and move forward with one generalized leaderboard. The last question relates to the number of businesses you'd like to show on the leaderboard. This is helpful if you don't want to show scores of some of the lowest performing businesses in your competition, but you do want to show scores of those that ranked highly or received awards. You'll notice the note that if your leaderboard has divisions, this setting applies to each one of those divisions individually. So to set this number, we'll simply click into this box and type a number. In this case, we'll only see 5 of our top businesses on the leaderboard, and any of these options that we click to yes will also show those 5 businesses and not the others that scored lower. For now, we're going to opt out of this option. When you're finished here, click Update Preferences. The last step in setting up your YEC competition is to publish it. By this point, you should have already received approval by someone on the YEC team for your competition to be published, but if not, you'll see that the Publish button at the top right is disabled. If that's the case, simply reach out to someone on the YEC team to let them know that you're ready to publish your competition. They'll handle it on their side, and this will turn blue, like so. So there's one last step to make sure that your competition is ready to be published. You want to go preview the landing page for your competition and make sure it looks good and all the information is there for those interested in your competition that find it on the VentureDash website. Let's go look at it now. So when you preview your landing page, you'll see a notification at the top that this is not visible to the public yet. You'll have to publish your competition to make it live. As you'll see, we have all the details that we filled out earlier, including the description and scheduling key dates. There's also a map showing the location of your competition at the bottom, and each component where participants that are interested will be able to go and see the details involved in each component of your competition. So, this looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and go back and publish our competition. So when you're ready, go to the top right and click Publish. This step lets you know that when you publish, your landing page will be public and your competition will be open for participants to join. Let's go. Alright, so our competition's been published, and now we can start inviting people. There's 2 ways to invite participants to our competition, which are outlined here. We can invite them from the People page, or we can send them a link to our landing page, and you can copy that link here. Now that our competition's published, we can check that task off in the timeline, and you'll see the setup process is done. And now we've moved into the before phase of our competition. Once your competition has been published, the next step is to invite participants. This can be achieved in one of 2 ways. You can direct them to the landing page by copying the link here and pasting that link in an email or a message to the participants you want to join, or sending that out over social media or another marketing channel. The next way is to invite them directly from the People page. So let's go there now. Here on the People page, under Members, you'll see a button on the far right side labeled Invite. By clicking on that button, you can invite a new member by typing in their first name, last name, email, and choosing their member type: co-hosts, entrepreneurs, judges, or mentors. I'm going to invite an entrepreneur. Once you've sent an invite, you'll see that you have one pending invite. By clicking Pending, you can see all pending invites, and you can even resend invites or cancel invites. As users begin to join your competition and accept invites, they'll show up on this page. Here you can see we have 1 co-host, 43 entrepreneurs, 5 judges, and 10 mentors. The next step in preparing for your competition is to approve business applications. I'll show you how that works. To complete this task, you can either click the task in the timeline or go to People and Businesses. As entrepreneurs join your competition and start to create their businesses, those businesses will show up on this page under Draft. Once those businesses have completed and submitted their business applications, those will show up under Needs Review. When that happens, you can then approve a business application right here on this page. Here you can see that 3 businesses have submitted their business applications. We can go about approving these in multiple ways. To view a single business application, you can simply click on the business and click the drop-down to Show Business Application. You may remember that this business application includes any questions that you added to the business application form in previous steps. If everything looks good, you can click to approve the business application right here on the business profile page. Let's go back to the businesses page and see another way to approve a business application. Another way to approve a single business application is to click the action button at the end of the row and click approve. But the last way is a way that you can approve multiple business applications at once. If you know that all the business applications that are in the needs review category right now are ready to go, you can just go ahead and click Approve All. So now we can see that we've approved all 3 business applications, and these businesses are ready to compete in the competition. One of the last steps to complete before your competition can take place is to set judge assignments. To navigate there, you can either click Set Judge Assignments in the timeline, or you can go to Scoring Judge Assignments. You'll see that we've already assigned 5 judges to the formal presentation component, but no judges yet to the executive summary. Let's go and set those judge assignments now. When you come into a component, you'll see that you don't have any assigned judges yet, and you need to add them. In this side panel, you can see all 5 judges in our competition. And you'll see this helpful icon that tells us that each judge is also assigned to one other component, the formal presentation component. That's helpful when you're trying to split up work between judges and make sure no one has too much to do. For executive summary, we'll assign all 5 judges. You click Save. You'll see that we have 5 judges assigned to 7 businesses. As you scroll down, you see the section where we have the opportunity to split judges and businesses up into multiple sets if we'd like. The simplest way to do this is to just keep one set. That means all judges score all businesses. But if you need to split up work between judges, you can assign a few judges to a handful of the businesses and add a new set. Judges and businesses can be moved between sets and into new sets as long as each set has at least one judge and one business. We're just going to keep it simple and put all judges and businesses in one set. When you're done assigning judges, you can go back to the top and click Notify Judges. When you click Send Notification, all the judges will get an email to let them know that they have a component ready to score. When you're done, you can click Save and Finish. Now all our components have been assigned to judges, and all our judges have equal amounts of work. When your competition finally arrives, VentureDash has some helpful tools to help you coordinate the day. During your competition's registration, you can use the check-in feature to keep track of who's here. To find check-in, you can either click the task in the timeline or go to People, Check-in. Now, check-in is probably one of the most straightforward and simple to use features in VentureDash. Simply click the check mark next to anyone that shows up on the day of the competition to keep track that they've arrived and are present. As you check people in, you can see the numbers start to accumulate. Check-in works for entrepreneurs, judges, and mentors. Once your competition is underway, judges will start submitting scores for businesses. When you're ready, you can go and review and approve those scores so that they show up on the leaderboard. To get to score approval, you'll either click Approve Scores in the timeline or go to Scoring, Score Approval. It looks like we already have 2 scores pending our approval in Executive Summary. So we'll click into the component And as you can see, we have 1 score pending for Acme Corp and 1 score pending for Jacobs PLC. We have the option at the top to approve all if we already know those scores look good, but we haven't looked at them yet. So we'll go down, open a business. If you need to, you can view the attachments that this business added for this component. You can see the score that was given by the judge, when it was submitted. You can hover to read judge comments. And for more detail, you can view and edit the score. This looks just like the rubric that the judge would have filled out for the business. Everything looks good here, so we're going to approve score. Now, once a score is approved, the score gets tabulated into the entrepreneur or business's overall score on the leaderboard. So if we approve that score and approve this score below, and then go to the leaderboard, you'll see that those scores have already started to be tabulated, both into the overall score, but also for the specific score for executive summary. If you don't want scores to show up on the leaderboard, you'll have to wait to approve them until you're ready for them to be visible on the leaderboard. Keep in mind, the leaderboard will only be visible based on the leaderboard preferences you set, and scores will only be visible based on the scoring preferences you set. A great way to get feedback from the participants of your competition is to send a follow-up survey, either by clicking Send Follow-up Surveys in the timeline or by going to People, Surveys. To create a new survey, you'll click New Survey in the top right. The first step is to choose who you'd like to send your survey to. You'll give your survey a title, give it a description, and click Save and Continue. In this step, you'll build your survey. Your survey can include as many questions as you'd like. You can start by adding one here. So you can add your question, choose the type of answer you'd like them to provide, decide whether or not to require the question, and click Save. Once you're done adding questions, you can click Save and Continue. Now you can review your survey and who it'll be going out to. If you're not ready to send it yet, that's okay. You can go back to Surveys, and you'll see that it's in draft. Once you're ready to send it, you can click back into it, go to the bottom and click Send Survey. Once the survey is sent, you can see everyone it went out to, and when responses come in, you can see what they answered on each question you added. Announcements are very similar to surveys, but one slight difference is that you might use them during or before a competition. Announcements are great for letting competition participants know about changes or updates. So just like surveys, you can add a new announcement by clicking New Announcement in the top right, choosing who you'd like it to go to, adding a subject, a message, and clicking Save and Continue. Just like surveys, you'll have a chance to review your announcement before you send it out. After your whole competition is complete, you'll want to finish one last step. To wrap up your competition, you'll click Wrap Up on the timeline. This step is the final piece to closing down your competition and making it dormant, so that participants know it's complete and no one else can join the competition. You can still access archived competitions anytime you want from the My Competitions page. So when you're ready, click Archive this competition. And that's it, you're done.